Howdy, Space Rangers, Captain Phoenix here, and I recently rewatched the new Superman movie. Now, I don't normally rewatch movies, and as such, my opinion on them rarely changes. However, for this rewatch, the movie was a lot better to me. Even though I had already seen it in theaters, I found myself being more emotionally connected to the story and impacted by its message. There was one scene in particular that moved me to tears and nearly had me bawling like a baby. And you guys know that it takes a lot for a movie to do that to me. And so that's what today's video is about. Let's talk about why the flag raising scene in Superman 2025 is perfect. The scene starts right after Clark and Pa Kent have their little chit chat to boost his spirits. Clark at this point has had the worst week of his life yet. He just lost his first fight, his cousin's dog was kidnapped, he let an innocent civilian die, unintentionally of course, his relationship with Lois is rocky, and for the main course, he just found out that his Kryptonian parents sent him to Earth not to be a hero, but a conqueror. His entire purpose and belief system has been turned on its head. Basically, he's had it rough. Superman's PR is below the toilet. Now, Clark doesn't really care whether or not the people he saves like him, but he also doesn't want them to fear him, and currently, the whole world is skeptical of him. However, in this scene, Mark Kent calls him into the house, and he watches the news to see the Boravians invading Jahanpur again. And in all this mess, a little kid and his friends plant a flag with the House of L insignia, desperately calling for Superman's help. The adults notice this immediately and also join in, begging for Superman to come and save them. This one beautiful scene throws all of Superman's worries out the window. He still has a purpose. He is still needed. The people of Jahanpur believe in Superman because his reputation speaks for itself. They don't care what his parents' intentions for him were. They care about not dying and having hope for tomorrow. The kid and his friends love and believe in Superman because he had saved them once before. He has proven that he cares. He saw their lives as valuable even when most others didn't. They have the hope to keep going, the same hope that Superman carries with him everywhere he goes. The Jahanpurans don't see him as a god. They see him as an answer to their problem, which is true to what the character of Superman was originally conceived as, a hero to the oppressed. In my short life, I've met a lot of people who call Superman boring or overpowered, and a lot of them don't understand how a guy like this could have problems or what the point of his existence is. The thing I think they all forget or don't know is that Superman was created during a terrible time in human history. Hell, I'd go so far as to say that he was created at arguably the nastiest time in recent human history. And as such, he was meant to be every solution to every problem. He was meant to be an oppressed who had the power to protect and fight for the oppressed and weak. And honestly, I really like the fact that Jahanpur is a third world country as it highlights how people view Superman. Of course, this isn't me giving commentary on any of the allegories this movie has tied to the real world, nor is it me dunking on third world countries. I am from one, after all. The main thing I wanted to draw attention to was how America and Jahanpur reacted to Superman. Despite saving countless lives, the Americans immediately distrust Superman and throw him under the figurative bus once they find out that he's meant to conquer them. They have the luxury of deciding whether or not they want Superman around, whereas the Jahanpurans don't care about that. They've seen his actions firsthand too. All they care about is seeing tomorrow. This is a textbook example of first and third world problems at play, and I love how James Gunn was able to sneak that in. Back to the flag scene, I love how Superman's symbol is never defined in this movie. He never talks about the S, and outside his parents' message, he's never stated nor claimed to be a beacon of hope. He makes himself that through his actions, and the people of Earth respond in kind. Superman is more than the S, and this movie shows that while also acknowledging how powerful it is. And to add to Clark's already perfect character and the lack of an evil bone in this man's body, he doesn't even bask in the glory of the people's cries. He doesn't feel better or full of himself. He sees people in desperation, pain, and danger and immediately moves to help them. Had Mr. Terrific shown up 2 seconds later, the end of the movie would have looked very different. Speaking of which, if we jump ahead to later in the movie, I love how Superman's pure idealism is what gets the Justice Gang to step in. I don't even think he asks for their help directly. They just see the Jahanpurans in danger and Superman spread to his thinnest point in Metropolis, so they decide to take it upon themselves to do the right thing. Superman's idealism and care for life rubbing off on them without him being present is just so inspiring. Of course, in my review, I did mention that this turnaround was a bit too quick, but in the context of the climax alone, It was great. And given how great these moments were, I so badly wish we got to see the scene where Superman stopped the war for the first time, if just to add weight to the later scene. I mentioned it in my review and I'll say it again here. Omitting that scene was a damn shame. This movie, and especially this scene in particular, perfectly understand who Superman is. He's supposed to present that light at the end of the tunnel, the best of all of us that we can strive to be. True, no Superman actually exists in real life, but we can try to make a similar difference. And that's why the theme of this movie is so important, as it harkens back to the original reason Superman was created. We can all afford to be a little kinder. We can all be a little Superman. Superman 2025 isn't a flawless movie. There's definitely a couple of things I can pull from it and call messy. But this scene and the following ones in Jampua are the definition of perfect. They're inspiring and hopeful. They remind us of what it truly means to be a hero. Anyway guys, that's going to be all from me today. I am retroactively changing my rating of the movie from an 8 to a 9 out of 10. Tell me, what was your favorite scenes from Superman? Do you even have one? What are your thoughts on the movie's message about hope and kindness? Let me know down in the comments below, and as always, let's have a discussion. Thank you guys very much for watching. Be sure to like if you like, subscribe if you haven't already, hit that notification bell to be part of the team, slap a cow, and with that, I have been Captain Phoenix, and I will see you in another universe. Goodbye, my Rangers.